This year's Oscar for Best Picture Forensic Girl. Really not hot. I still remember 2 years ago. Parasite, the heyday of popular discussion. Compared to his listening to the girl, can be said that the waves are not shocking. The reason is certainly not that he is not good looking. I guess it's because the topic of the girl is too peaceful. He doesn't shed the sharp and controversial issues of today's world. No racial rivalry, no ethnic conflicts. He is simply a man of the world. He's just plain and simple. The story of a girl and her family. This does not mean that the film has no value. On the contrary, I learned from listening to the girl what is the root of the conflict between people, and how we should face the conflicts. The biggest conflict in the film occurs between normal people and deaf people, because they can't communicate with each other. So, the deaf people almost never deal with outsiders. The usual attitude towards normal people is always rejection. So, who's everywhere? Deaf people always suspect that normal people will look down on them. They mock them while they can't hear. A family of deaf people living in isolation, leaving everything to their hearing daughter who can speak. Let him be the interpreter and bridge the gap. The family had no idea. Slowly, they couldn't communicate with their daughter, because the daughter has her own studies and dreams to pursue. The family relied on her for everything, which made her overwhelmed. I can't stay with you for the rest of my life. Often requires sacrifice from one side to resolve. Then my daughter decided to make a sacrifice, to give up her dream to be a translator for her family, until the family's financial difficulties are solved. Please note that when the mother came to thank her daughter, she told her daughter a very strange memory. He had prayed when his daughter was born, that his daughter would be as deaf as he was. Unfortunately, his daughter was diagnosed with hearing, which made his heart. He was very sad. Her daughter asked why. The mother replied that she was afraid that there would be a gap between her and her daughter. In fact, the mother thought very clearly. The root of the divide is the inability to communicate. You can hear me, but I can't. There will be parts of you that I can't understand. Sure enough, when the daughter told her mother that she liked to sing, the mother would reply slightly sarcastically that if I were blind, would you like to draw? People can't communicate with each other. It also comes from the difference between people. What do you know? I don't understand. Then you will have a part that I can't understand. But why is it that this family can finally resolve their conflict? They can have a happy relationship with outsiders. The ending of the story can be so tear-jerking and healing. There is a language in the world that does not need to be expressed, and that is love. Although the father could not hear his daughter's song, but he can tell how much his daughter loves to sing by the look on her face when she sings. He can tell how much his daughter loves to sing. He can tell how much his daughter loves singing by the expressions of the people around him. He can tell how moving his daughter's singing is. He could also use the troublesome bone conduction method. He put his hand against his daughter's throat. He tried to listen to his daughter's song, even if it was blurred. So this dad finally heard it. He heard his daughter's willingness to sacrifice for her family, the voice that calls out from the bottom of his heart. So he decided to send his daughter to fly. The tear-jerking part is that he is deaf, but he has done what many normal people cannot do. The ability to love. It allows one person to empathize with another person's feelings, and then understand the needs of another person. Even if you do not say anything, I understand your feelings. That's what the girl who heard me taught me. We need to learn how to love people. True love is tender and gentle, with understanding and sacrifice. If we have this ability to love, we will definitely have more laughter in our lives, more touching, more peace, more freedom.